Suicide is bad, and we shouldn't open up markets in the organs of the people we've encouraged through the law to kill themselves in other countries. Now, speaking of HHS and bioethics, a disturbing story that I've been meaning to get to for a few days now, and the time is now. Let's see. Here we are. National Post, story out of Canada. American man gets heart from 38-year-old Ontario ALS patient who died by MAID, medical assistance in dying, also known as assisted suicide. So Canada legalizes assisted suicide. And people who have even a slightly functioning sense of morality immediately said, well, this is really bad. Assisted suicide is really, really bad. It violates the Hippocratic Oath, first of all. Hippocratic Oath begins first, do no harm. Assisted suicide harms, just immediately harms because it kills people. And also, it's going to lead to all of these terrible outcomes. It's going to pressure old people who, many old people feel like a burden on their families, and they are more prone to depression and to despair. It's going to encourage a lot of them to kill themselves when they should not kill themselves. They should be loved and cherished in their old age and have a sense of dignity and not be permitted or certainly not encouraged to fall into despair. But it's not just old people. It's going to be people who have serious illnesses. They're not going to persevere. They're not going to, even as they suffer, recognize that suffering is a part of the human condition and be an example of how to suffer. And I believe, at least, suffering is sanctifying. But at the very least, I think we have to acknowledge suffering is an inescapable part of the human condition. And if we seek to eliminate suffering, ultimately, we're going to eliminate human life. And you have seen this because it's not just people who have some terribly painful degenerative illness who, you can say with nearly 100% certainty will never recover and will be in excruciating pain toward the end, even though we have good palliative care now. But all of a sudden it starts to creep back. Now it's adults who don't have, say, Lou Gehrig's disease. It's adults with depression, adults with, an eating disorder, say, who they say, I'm going to kill myself. And the Canadian government says, that's okay. Then it's teenagers in certain parts of the world. Then it's the mentally handicapped. Then it's all of a sudden, this is getting really, really dark. Go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code Knowles. Consistency is everything when it comes to your health. But life gets busy. And remembering to reorder those supplements every month, well, that's just one more thing on your already packed to-do list. That is why you need to become a Balance of Nature preferred customer. Here's why it's a game changer. Your supplements show up like clockwork every 28 days, right to your doorstep. No remembering to reorder, no running out. Just happens automatically. Here's the kicker. You're getting the lowest price Balance of Nature ever offers every single time. No hunting for deals, no promo codes, no stress. Plus, shipping is totally free every month. I love it. I adore Balance of Nature. I have Balance of Nature here, the Daily Wire. I have Balance of Nature in my office at home, actually. I love, especially when you're on the road, it's nice when you're not getting that sweet little Lisa cooking all the time. But you know what else you get? You get your own personal health coach, someone who actually checks in, cheers you on, and helps you stay on track with your goals. They look at the whole picture, mind, body, and spirit. The easiest routines are the ones you don't have to think about. When it's automatic, it's consistent. When it's consistent, it sticks. You handle life, Balance of Nature handles the rest. Right now, you can become a preferred customer and lock in wholesale pricing with free shipping every month. Go to balanceofnature.com, use promo code Knowles, KNWLES, for 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. Plus, get a free bottle of fiber and spice. That's balanceofnature.com, promo code Knowles. Now we're harvesting the organs from these people. Now, and we've had conversations on this show about the organ donation market for a long time. Lots of dubious ethics in the medical donation because it's reliant upon this scientific concept of it's an ideological concept of brain death, which really doesn't come about until the 1960s or so. And brain death is dubious because often what happens in the case of medical harvesting of organs is it's not that the person dies and then you harvest the organs and you donate them to someone else. It's that the harvesting of the organs is what literally kills the person, which creates a lot of ethical problems. In any case, an American man just received a heart from a 38-year-old Canadian who killed himself. Is this the kind of market that we want to be encouraging? I make jokes about Canada being America's evil top hat all the time. I don't actually want to kill them all and harvest their organs. That's a bridge too far. That's taking the joke a little bit too far, wouldn't you say? Okay, if most people, I guess there are going to be liberals who say, no, it's fine. It's good. This man had a disease and he made the choice to kill himself. And because the only moral criterion of liberalism is consent, then he has the right to do that because liberalism presumes the idea of self-ownership, the idea that we own ourselves, which is not true at all. Because of all of that, they're going to say, well, this is fine. What's wrong with it? Now an American man gets a heart out of it. I don't know. I think more people, though, the conservatives and the moderates are going to say, hey, suicide is bad and we shouldn't encourage it. And we definitely shouldn't be profiting from it. And we shouldn't open up markets in the organs of the people we've encouraged through the law to kill themselves in other countries. You see how this could go wrong real fast? But it started with such good intentions. I'm speaking to the kind of moderate conservative or liberal who said, Grandpa really was having a hard go of it at the end there, and maybe it's okay to have a medical assistance in dying, also known as suicide. Maybe suicide's okay in some cases. We just don't want to let it get too far. We don't want to let the slippery slope, slip down too far. This was always there. This was inevitable. We were always in this place where if you make the Faustian bargain, if you compromise on moral issues, even for good intentions, this was inevitable. MAID in Canada has existed for like 5 minutes so far. We're already harvesting the suicidees' organs. Not good. I think we need to do something about that here. That was a great clip. Now stop, ring the bell, subscribe. We'll see you next time.